All right, John. So the calendar has turned over. We are now in a new year. It is January 1st. And this now, like the winter break is behind us. So at this point, it definitely feels like all cylinders are firing and we're heading towards the start of the indoor competitive season. Usually by this point, you're, about 4.5 weeks away from hopefully that first contest at the beginning of February. What is it that we're trying to work on in January? What would be your recommendations for us?
This is where things get very real. Once you get past that winter break, it's like, oh no, it's coming. It's coming. Like we need to start getting serious. So there's also the logistics side, right? We said in this fairy tale world, we ordered everything in October, so it's fine. But it's like it's not really how it works. And there's a lot of following up. Like hopefully the props have been built. Like it's January. Like winter break usually is a pretty good time for some of that to happen. But we need to have all the props by January 1st at the latest, right? And we've got to make sure, like, is the floor on time, are the uniforms on time, have all those decisions been made? Since now we're running out of time, we have about a month. My cutoff is I want to be done with. So I have another third of my show I want to learn in January. We learned a third in December. Now we're learning the next third in January. My cutoff is around February 1st. I'm not going to that weekend probably, but my show, I need to stop learning at some point. Like we need to start pulling the med out and getting ready and filling in some of the details we haven't got to. So you don't have all the way up until like the first show day. In a perfect world, you're like 2 weeks before the first show, you have everything staged and marching and playing it all. You have a couple weeks to actually like put it together. So so you have some sense of success at the first show.
Yeah, I think that's the big key. For me, January was always maybe even the most crucial month of the season, other than getting a good start, because January is the most focused time you have to make day by day and week by week progress getting the show out there. I mean, you could have like 4 consecutive weeks of rehearsal that aren't interrupted with performances and vacations and things like that. Maybe you've got some Saturday rehearsals that are happening in here as well, and you're making huge strides in the show. I always felt like if I didn't take large enough steps in January, I was battling in February and March to kind of catch up to the stuff I know I should have gotten done in January. So I like what you said about you're trying to get another third of the show done so that by the end of January, you're looking at hopefully about 2/3 of your presentation out there. And obviously that scales. If it's A class, that's 2/3 is going to be, less than 2/3 of a world-class show. So take whatever your show is and kind of figure out where's that 1/3, where's that 2/3 mark. And hopefully you can set that as the goal by the end of the month.